So scenario is, let's say you have multiple projects, and then so each project is handled by a project manager and their team, right? And then there is so because there are multiple projects, you need a portfolio manager. So he's looking after all these projects, but basically project manager is looking after the team and then that project. So that project manager is responsible for one project or multiple projects, but then that portfolio manager is responsible for all those projects, right? So that's a use case. Monday.com recently launched portfolio solution. So I'm going to use that solution, but it little bit advanced. I'm gonna make some changes, and I'm gonna show you how to automatically we can have a project intake form also in the place, right? So this is the project intake form. I've just picked it up from the template center, and then essentially whenever you have a project, so this is the project, and then all the other details. These details. It's just a template I have used, so that we already had some columns, but your form can just look as simple as this is. So there can be project name. If it's an internal if you are you're a company who is handling internal projects, then definitely you don't need this. But let's say you're a company who have external projects, then you'll have multiple clients, right? So then you may or may not have this client name. That's what I wanted to mention. And then there are some other fields required. Okay, so that's the flow. So you have a project intake. It's a typical project management case. You have a project intake form. The form comes into this board, and then the moment you approve it, right, you decide to, okay, this project is approved, and then your project management flow starts. So so this is the project intake form. Right now, it's not connected to my portfolio because that's what the today's training is about. And because last time I gave in one of my webinar, I have also covered this portfolio management solution. So the way you can add this portfolio board is directly from here, right? Portfolio. If you click portfolio, the new portfolio will be created. Blank portfolio will be created. And then in order to add these projects, basically what you do is you create the project from here, you rename it, and then there is already a standard project template. I also spoke about you can also change this template, but for today's project, you can have multiple templates here too. Let's say for today's project, today's training, we are going to just use this standard project. Okay. So that's how the solution is. You have a portfolio, and then you add a project manually from here. Then you click on create project, then you rename it, and you choose the template. And when you create it, basically this board is created. This line item is created, and also this lower level board is created. So you already know about this, but I want to advance this workflow, because here, let's say you don't want to add this project manually because there is some approval workflow before, right? In the last to last webinar, I think few webinars before, I had covered this use case where in that we only looked at the portfolio and then creating the project manually. But now today I wanted to show you how to use the intake project approval workflow and then create a project in your portfolio. Okay, so for that, so now I have this intake process in the place. So ideally, when you submit the project comes to this project intake form, and then you're gonna approve from here. But then what we want is, whenever I approve this project, this particular project should be automatically gone to portfolio board, okay, with the name, same name, right? We want to carry forward the name and some of the, if we can carry some of the fields here, right? So that's the workflow. Right now it's not connected, but I'm going to show you how to connect that. So first of all, we have to build the automation from scratch, that something is approved here, something gets approved. We want to carry forward these details into new project new portfolio. Okay, and then we are going to use, we are going to have, because Monday basically uses this create project automation, and I'm going to show you how to create that automation too. So let's take easy step first. Step by step, we are going to go ahead. And this is monday.com, right? And this, you already know that if you want to take some of the information from this board, and if you want to create the item here, you know what automation to use. It's a create item automation, which I'm going to use it from here. And status changes to something. So this one, proceed with the client. Is proceed. I want to create an item. Okay. And yeah. And in the name, sorry. So create item in board. Okay. And then I'm first, even if I want to click here, I have to select the board first. That's the thumb rule. So I'm going to select a board, new portfolio. Let me see. Yes, this one. So whenever, so I want that whenever I change the status changes to proceed, I want to take this name, right? Because I want the same project name into the consideration. Also, project description, I have, yeah, maybe I can take details into the description. I can match that here. Okay. I can also take, yeah. So basically, I wanted to show you, you can take some of the, not just a name, project name you can take, but if you want to take some of the information like project description, or maybe the end date, like, right, request date, due date, you can take it from here. Okay, so now first step is done, that whenever I will change this status to approved, this project Arnold is going to go into the new portfolio. But that's just a step one. I want to create, because right now, if I create add project to it, right now, we cannot just add the automatically here. It's not going to create a project, because right now the trigger is you have to create a project from here. And then you have to select the template. So this is manual. We want to avoid that manual part. So then, so that for that, actually, we have to add another integration from here. So the way you go is, so you have to build. So now first part is done. You added the automation here so that information is taken to the new portfolio. But now you want to have add another automation. Okay. So you go into template. Then you go to integration, because it's an integration. And then Monday uses this create, and it's a native integration, by the way. It's create project integration. This is the one. So there are multiple recipes, because there are some, you can add conditions to some of your automation. So now our condition is this one, that when an item is created and only if status is something, create a project from template. So this one, if you want to bring, let's say if you have multiple templates, then we will use this particular recipe, because we wanted to use that status as a template. But for this one, I want to keep it simple. So now I want to create this one. I want to use this one. When an item is created, create a project from template. So then I'm gonna, and this is, you are very well aware of these automation, because you must have used this automation before too. But then now this time it's not an automation, it's an integration, because you see this mark over here, and you'll not find it in the automation. It's in the integration. You have to type create project. I'm doing that again just to show you all. Okay, so this one, it's here, create project. And then in those recipes, I'm looking for the simple, I'm looking for this one, simple one. Yeah, when an item is created and only if the project is, or only if that column is empty, create project from template. So this one. So, and you can see this is a pre-built template. When an item is created, because our item is created, because as soon as the condition is satisfied on the other board, the item is going to come here. So I'm just going to use this one. The project task is empty, so that it's a trigger, because whenever the item is created, this column is going to be empty. I'll explain you what this column is. But we have to remember this project task is empty, and then about searching the template. So now we have to also tell them the template. Maybe I can use project template new. And then I want my board name to be item name. This. Because I want to keep the same item name of the project. And also with this one, what I can do is I can also save, because this is advanced feature where I can choose my workspace. I can also choose particular folder. Let's put it in the new, there is already a one folder here. Let's put it in that. And then also the beauty of this integration is you can also choose the owners, right? So because I am using my company login, which is Monday_clients, but let's say I want other person also. We have Jessie here to help me with this webinar. So we want her to be also to be the owner. We can add her already. So like that, you can always add everyone also, everyone at Achievan, right? Because if you don't add this, only you are going to be the owner of that board, right? And then of course you can manually add them, but this is like you're taking one step further, and everything you are doing automatically, right? So, and then I'm just saving this. So now let's see. So now you can see I have built this automation with the app called Create Project. It's a native Monday.com app, especially built for this portfolio management solution. So now I no longer have to create a project from here, because as soon as, and let's test that, I have a project Arnold here. Initially I said do not proceed, but now I'm thinking it's okay to proceed. So I'm just changing this to proceed. I'm waiting for automation to run. This Monday added recently that as soon as the automation is run, you can see here. It's like a robot telling us that, hey, automation ran. And then in my other board also there is, so now you can see project Arnold is here. And now in a seconds, I want the other board to be created. So you see how beautifully the name also came here. Also, I wanted the description also came here, right? Now let's refresh this, hopefully. Let's search that folder where I told them to save it, this one. So you see, project Arnold is created automatically. Everything is automatic. And it got, because we actually mentioned in the automation that project should be saved in this folder. So let's say if you have multiple departments, and then they are using this portfolio, so you can always, and then you have this, let's say, a department name. So depending on that status, right, depending on what you submit in that intake form, this particular project will be saved in that particular folder. So everything remains same, all the features remain same, like the connectivity, and that I've already covered in my last webinar, that everything gets rolled up to the higher level, like timeline, the progress of the status, completion date, everything gets rolled up. But then now what we have done is we have saved that time to go to the portfolio and create the project automatically. Because let's say right now it's you can see, let me go to the portfolio again. So now you can see only 3 projects, but think about a scenario that there are 50 projects, and then there is like more complex world where there are different departments which they are using, different project managers are using the board. So then you want this flow to be automatic. So definitely we can use the intake form, and then you just approve. Once it's approved, it's automatically, the board is created. Also, I wanted to show you automatically, and then with that automation you have the ability to save it to the particular folder, also add other people into the board manually, right? So that is saving a lot of your time, where in this process you have to actually, because earlier you had to actually create the board, right? And then once the board is created, you have to add particular people over here, right? That was manual, because there's no recipe to add those people. And also the projects were getting created, like there is no way we can have the folders and we can save it. The project will, or because the new portfolio is in this workspace, automatically project A will be created in this workspace. But now just by adding intake form, because then we could use that template creation automation, and then we can use the advanced version where we actually use this, right? Because we use the advanced automation where you actually can save. You can also, like, you can choose the template, but then you can have these advanced facilities where you can also mention the workspace, like you can define the workspace, you can define the folder, you can also define who should be the owner, who should be the subscriber. Everything is like automatic, and it becomes that saves your time. And also time means money, right? That saves your money. And then this becomes organized, right? So first Monday launched this solution, and then with that solution, so if you see into the automation integration, right, it has couple of other recipes too. And maybe in my next webinar I can also cover those. So in create projects we have some other, so we just took this one where there is no condition. But you can see where if there is a like I was telling you, with the other departments, like cross department, but then they are using the same portfolio. So I can cover this for my next topic too.